Howdy, folks. I'm Doctor McFarland, and it is Tuesday. And we're going to talk about some gear. I am going to the NAMM show at the end of this month with my company of Harrison Audio, manning the Harrison Audio booth. And I will be demonstrating Mixbus version 10, showing off some new cool analog gear and all that stuff. So if you're going to be in Anaheim for the NAMM show, then come by the booth, Harrison Audio, and say hi. I'd love to meet you guys or see you in person and see you in person. And yeah, it's going to be fun. So yeah, this will be very interesting, Andrew, the Helix connoisseur. I do have a slight nasal congestion, runny nose thing going on right now. So if I sniffle a little bit, then please, please excuse me. I'm going to tune. I'm plugged into my Headrush core tonight because I am set up to do some videos. I got a little behind on the Headrush videos, and I'm sorry about that. I'm pretty much planning my month concentrating on one modeler per week. So last week was Fractal. This week is going to be Headrush. Next week is probably going to be Kemper or Helix, maybe a combination of both. And then the last week can be Toemaster Pro. And I'm sure we'll do some mashup videos where we kind of talk about all five together. I want to do a workflow video, kind of showing the differences between rigs, presets, scenes, snapshots, that kind of stuff. I did have a question about that on one of my videos today, asking about Headrush scenes versus Helix snapshots and what's the difference. And each one is just a little different. So I don't have my camera plugged in over here, otherwise I'd show you my my Headrush screen. But I do need to turn on my light though. Let's see. Some kind of light over here, maybe. I got plenty of light anyway. Yeah, so the NAMM show will be neat. I guess my better judgment, I have decided to keep the Fractal FM3 Mark II Turbo. I was going to send it back for a second time, but I really hope and think that the Gapless Switching will come to the FM series of Fractal units now that it has been added to the Axe-Fx 3. And once that happens, all these workaround videos of me showing how to get a clean tone and get a dirty tone using one amp or no amps at all will kind of go away, because I'll be able to use one amp block with 4 different channels, and using scenes I can go from a clean amp to a slightly dirty amp, or maybe even the same amp but just different settings, and then choose a totally different amp for my rhythm and my lead sound, and go and be sure to switch seamlessly between those 4 amp channels, and also drive blocks, and also other modulation effects, just all kinds of really cool stuff that you can't really do easily right now, because if you try to do it, you'll have a gap in the sound. And that's one thing that Kemper has done really well a long time ago, is have gapless and seamless switching between their rigs. And also now the new Toemaster Pro does not have scenes or snapshots, but they do want you to use presets, and they have totally seamless switching between presets. And it is a beautiful thing, and it sounds really, really good. And yeah, so I think those are topics worth going over, and not really I don't really care anymore these days about the tone that I'm getting from each unit, because I can get great sounds from anything. I just have the sound in my head, and as long as I get a clean sound, a rhythm sound, and a lead sound, sprinkle in some delays and reverbs and some overdrive and whatever, I'm pretty much good. So it's not that all these units sound better than the other. They all sound good to me. It's just a different form factor, a different workflow, a different functionalities going on that really you're dealing with different ways of interacting with the interface and all that stuff. So I think it's a cool way to shoot out the workflow side of things and not so much the tones, because I've heard tons of A, B, C, D, blind test comparisons now that they all sound good. And especially when you start recording and getting them into a mix with other drums and bass and acoustic guitars and singers and horns and strings. I mean, no one is going to ever know the difference between a clean tone from a Helix or a clean tone from a Tonemaster Pro, or the dirty sound from a Fractal versus a Headrush or a Kemper or whatever else. So, and the cool thing about a Kemper is you can essentially has no sound until you put a profile in it, and you can actually profile a plugin, other modeling units, other amplifiers. So the Kemper can kind of take all these sounds and incorporate them into its own workflow, which I kind of like. Is basically setting up a performance. You have 5 rigs in a performance. You can have a morphing function, which can change in real time certain settings within that rig. And then you also have 4 switches you can assign up to. I think you can assign up to 4 different stomps to one switch or something crazy. So, but you only have 8 effects per rig anyway. So it's not like you can just assign tons and tons of effects blocks or effects to a certain switch. For me, I usually just have some kind of boost and overdrive assigned to switches 1 and 2. My modulation, which is usually a tremolo, is on 3, and then I can kick in and out my delay on 4. So it's all going to look very similar coming from my perspective, because 1, I'm a very simple player. 2, I make really easy presets that just don't take a lot of juice or weird stuff going on, and as long as I can get that clean rhythm and lead sound and your ambient type stuff, then I'm pretty much good. So tonight I'm playing on my Eastman T59V. The colors in the background are a little weird. I don't even know where my remotes are. Where's my remotes? Let's see if I can. There. Yeah. Seven's off back there now. Now if I go in full stunning color. Okay, so I still got a little bit of blue over here. I think the blue in this particular Logitech camera is just kind of weird. All right, so now it's a little less blue in the background, which is fine. You can see my red Eastman T59V. Very cool stuff. I think what I'm going to do real fast. That might be a little too big. Maybe not. Let me see what else I have here. I'm going to adjust the action on my guitar. And then if I like it, I'm going to, maybe not right now on the live stream, but I do want to change the strings on this guitar, because I hadn't done it in a long time. And I want to make, I need to make a spreadsheet of all my guitars and the dates of when I last changed the strings, because I have so many that it's hard to remember how long the strings have been on there. And I put in another order for my webstrings.com guitar strings. So this is a 10 to 46 Memphis Electric nickel round wound webstrings.com, made in the USA. This is now I have 7-string guitars. I have a 7-string pack, which is 10 to 56s. I said 10 to 50s to somebody earlier. That's not right. 10 to 56. So that way you have enough tension on that low B string to do what you want. But what I'm going to do is, y'all go ahead and ask questions, by the way, because I can talk about just random stuff forever. But if you have a specific question, then definitely feel free to come on in and let me know what you want to talk about. Get it? Tac-O-Bout? I know, it's crazy. So on the 17th fret, I like usually to have 2 to 2.5 millimeters of action. And this E string is about 3. So I'm actually going to bring this down. And let's see here. Okay. It's going down there. This is going down this way. Just about like a little quarter turn here and there. Then we'll check the height one more time. 17th fret. Now I'm down to the 2 area on the bottom. And about 2.5 on the top. Let's go down a little bit more on the top. Usually I like to have enough action to where I can kind of grab the string to bend it for bluesy type stuff. But I changed the strings on my Kiesel Aries neck through. And I had super low action on that, about 1.5 millimeters. And I really like it. I wasn't getting any buzzing at all out of it. So that's about 2 on the top and the bottom. So I only brought it down like 0.5 millimeter, but that could be a... Okay, let's go ahead and tune back up. On the Headrush here, I have the Black Mini amplifier, which I've just really grown to like a lot. It sounds thick. I can still crank it and get some good overdrive out of it if I want. It doesn't need to have tons of headroom because it's all within a digital unit. So I can just raise the volume later if I, in the output section if I want to. I do have a huge request for Headrush. I sent them a little laundry list, if you will, of updates that I've been asking for many, many, many years. And one thing after comparing all these other units is pretty much every unit at this point has a way to raise the volume of the amp without actually adjusting the preamp and the power amp or the master volume on the amp. Most Fender amps have a volume and that's about it. If you have a master volume, then that means you have a preamp volume. Then you also have a master volume. In the digital world or realm, most modeling units nowadays give you one extra volume knob adjustment after you've already dialed in your preamp volume and your master volume. So it's basically acting like a slider that goes up and down, and you're able to just adjust the volume like 2 different amplifiers in the same rig or the same preset. And it makes it really easy to adjust volumes between your different presets and your different scenes within that preset. So that way you can get the amp tone that you like, but you don't have to sacrifice the volume that it's at. And that's pretty much what Headrush is doing right now. They do not have a secondary volume on any of their amplifier blocks. So you can dial in your preamp sound and your master volume sound, which is fine. But then you have to go to the output block and adjust your overall volume from there, which is okay if you only have one amp in the rig or the preset. Headrush calls them rigs. Fractal and Helix and Toemaster Pro calls them presets. So the terminology is different, but the concept is the same. And then if you have two different amps in the same rig or preset, I essentially have to put in a EQ block and use the 6 dB booster cut to raise the volume after the amplifier. So that way I'm essentially using up one block just for an extra volume adjustment, which I would prefer to have its own volume adjustment within the amp block itself. And then secondly, talking about Headrush real fast, Headrush requests. I might change the title to get more views. Because I'll tell you, the view count on my videos are insane. Like one video last week was, the future of modeling for 2024. And that's already gotten 2,000 views. But then I put out a Fractal how-to video and it only has like 150 views. It's maddening and it's tiring is what it is, doing all this work and then you're getting so many views on something that shouldn't really get lots of views, and then you put out another video and don't get hardly any views at all. But anyway, second request for Headrush is the block preset. When you go into your hardware assign to basically say this thing needs to be off and this block needs to be on, and that's how you make your different scenes. They have a thing called block presets that they introduced a few updates back. I mean, it's been a few years since it's been out. And it's really, really cool. You can actually change modulation types. You can change... well, you can't really even change... Like, if you have a drive block, you can't change to a different drive, I don't think. But in the amp block, you can change between different amplifiers. The problem with that is you get a gap when you change from one amp to the next because it has to reinstantiate that block, and there's a small gap in there. So I'm really hoping, Headrush, that if Fractal can come out with gapless switching for their Axe effects and FM3 or FM series pedals, or units or devices, whatever you want to call it, then if you could just take that block preset within the amp block and make it gapless, dude, that'd be huge. That'd be so huge. Same goes for Helix. You can do gapless switching between presets on a Helix, but you have to sacrifice one of the DSP cores, which essentially limits you to 9 blocks within a preset, which is not horrible. But if you want to add just that one more thing, but you can't because you really want to do gapless switching between your presets, you're just learning to deal with the limitations of what the unit and the processing power of that unit has. So anyway, if I have 2 requests for Headrush, put a master volume or put a separate volume level on the amp block, and also allow for gapless switching between amp models within the block preset of the amp block. So if you do that, my goodness, I mean, you're going to take over the world, I think, possibly. Who knows? Let me check the comments here. Andrew Collins, yes, I agree. Most modelers sound good. It's only so many effects you can use on one preset. I pretty much use 2 presets to do an entire gig. Yeah, that's very, very true. With me playing at church, I mean, I have a clean tone. I might throw in a tremolo every once in a while if I'm doing like some kind of like picking thing, right? So do a little tremolo on the picking. I'll kick in a delay. Don't know what's going on there. My envelope mix needs to come back up. Now here's a cool story real fast. I will not give away his name to protect the innocent. But I had noticed on a certain live performance. Okay. I'm still streaming my I got a message from Ecamm saying my disc is full, so I need to deal with that after this live stream. But I was keeping up with a certain player, and I noticed he was playing a Fractal AX8 in this one performance. So I had messaged him or emailed him through his website. Said, hey, what's your live rig these days? What does it look like for you? And he basically says now he had a Kemper and a FM3, but now he's using a Headrush MX5. Wow, crazy. I mean, this is a top-notch, high-level player. He teaches at a very renowned school here in the U.S. for music, Berkeley College of Music. And he said he's using a Headrush for his live stuff now, which is really cool. Now, he did say that this would be my third request for a Headrush update here pretty soon. Is this certain person would really like to have more modulated reverbs and delays, which I totally am 100% behind. And I think that would be worthwhile to do. Because there's Toastmaster Pro that come right out of the gate with some great sounding reverbs and delays. Quad Cortex does. Kemper has great sounding reverbs, delays. Helix has some great wet effects. Fractal has some great effects. And Headrush, actually, the reverbs and delays sound just fine. I mean, they sound good as is, but they're very basic. They're very stock sounding. There's not a lot of really pretty ambient type options. Now, there is a party verb, which let me go ahead and pull that in here so you can hear what this sound is. And I actually really like it. So let me go to reverb, party verb. And this is the Lush Sparkle preset. And check this out. Buddy. Thomas Moore's in the house. Hello, Thomas. So that is the party verb. Just one of the algorithms there. Let me go through a few more. We got Divine Hall. It's pretty cool. It sounds good. We can change the mix of this. So I'm going to have a video pretty soon about kind of a follow-up to my Headrush Reverb Sucks video, which they don't. They're actually really good. But comparing the stock basic reverbs and delays to other units, I feel like they could be a little bit better. So, but this one plugin or this one party verb here is actually really good. I mean, it's and it has a fifth. Okay, here's a dryad. Yeah, I feel like the action on this guitar is a little too low. I might need to straighten the neck a little bit. Something's going on with it. I mean, actually, using the string as a straight edge is a little bit better. There's still a lot of relief in the neck right there. So what I'll do is actually I'll take my my truss rod adjustment. Where's the truss rod? Oh, it's right there. I'll adjust the truss rod to make it a little straighter. Make the neck straighter. Here's the minor glitch. Weird. Octopop. Here's Party Power. Revelation Octave. So this kind of takes the ambient stuff, and to me, it's more of like the otherworldly kind of, almost like an H9 pedal type sounds. Like they're not standard basic sounding, but they're also not your big sky, timeline Strymon type sounds. They're just really, they're kind of out of this world, kind of alien, not alien, but just like, they're still ethereal sounding, but they're different. They're just a little out there. I'm trying to say, like, you wouldn't necessarily use this in a, well, yes, you would use it in a song, but you just have to pick your spots where you use these kind of things sparingly, possibly. But who knows? You could write a whole album with this kind of sound, and it would be really neat. This is the Revelation Octave. So that's an octave down. Let's go octave. Where's my octave up? Octave up. Here's the octave down again. Yeah, I could get behind that. It's kind of neat. Slow drip. Oh, good. Excuse me. I got my nose running here. Okay, this one is great. I like this one. Yeah, I'm going to change the title of this. Now, I will do a separate live stream, a Headrush live stream. So maybe this is just a precursor to me like dialing in some rigs, using some delay and reverb. They're a little off the wall a little bit, if you will. Thanks, Thomas. Sounds good. Let's see what he says here. I have a Pod Go, which is fine, but a guy in my band got an Iridium, and I do like it and how easy it is to use knobs. Yeah, no menu diving, no crazy stuff. You just twiddle the knobs a little bit and you're done, right? Now, you can mimic that setup though, Thomas. The Iridium can either what? It can either get a Fender, a Vox, or a Marshall type option, whatever that is, right? A JMP. So you can mimic that same thing. You can limit your options on the Pod Go, which is already kind of limited anyway. I mean, I think you can only have the cab, the amp and cab in the middle of the chain. Then you have some things before and some things after. Very similar to what a Kemper does. So it's really not that out there versus what a Kemper already does. But I would just say pick a Fender amp that you like. Pick a cab. Okay, you're good. You're set on those. Now you just sprinkle in maybe a tube screamer or some kind of distortion pedal before. Throw in some reverb and delay, maybe some tremolo, chorus, whatever you prefer, based on the songs that you're playing. And you can have the exact same simple setup that your guitar player, your other player in the band is having. And if you need to go tweak something, you just touch that effect or however you choose it. You use the encoder knobs below the screen to adjust your settings. And it's no different than that Iridium pedal. So, and plus, if something gets bumped in the pedal board case, well, he has to go adjust his settings again. All you have to do is just plug in your Pod Go. All your settings are magically restored from the last time you had it on, and you really don't have to go tone chasing or anything. Everything you have was already dialed in, ready to go. Right when it turns on, you just plug in your guitar and you start playing. So that's what I suggest for anybody that's new to modeling, is just mimic a real life guitar setup with one amp, one cab, whatever you would normally have on a pedal board. An overdrive, a compressor, maybe a wall pedal, reverb, delay, tremolo, or chorus, or just whatever modulation effect you would normally have on a board. And just stick with that for, the first month. And just learn to dial in those sounds with one preset and just play. Just every time you plug in, just start playing. Don't instantly reach over and start tweaking stuff and messing with settings, whatever else. Just pick some settings that you would usually use on a pedal board and just go with it. It'll make your life so much easier. So much easier. Yes, it is a good idea. I mean, that's why I've pretty much stuck with the Black Mini on this, on the Headrush units. I mean, I could pick a twin reverb. I could pick a deluxe. I could pick a Princeton. I mean, I could pick all kinds of different amps. But really, at the end of the day, if you just shut your eyes and listen to the sounds, it's like, okay, that's a good clean tone. What more do I really want from that? Because changing the amp is not going to make me play better. I mean, let me turn this off. I mean, if I bend, we turn that off. If I play that lick with different amps, I'm still going to sound like me. If I want more treble, I just go to the amp and turn it up. If I want less bass, turn that down. If I want more gain, just start cranking the amp a little bit more, which I can do. I actually have two of the same amp model in this preset, so I'm going to bypass the first one and turn on the second one. Now I have more gain. All right, let's put it on the bridge pickup here. I heard a... Wow. Something is going on here. Something is going on here. Yeah, I need to check the... let me switch guitars real fast. I need to check the action and the neck on this thing. 'Cause I got a little fret. I got a little fret out right there. That should not be happening. That should not be happening. Let's see what else I want to play here. Let me grab something else. Hold on just a minute. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. I am back and better than ever. With me going to the NAMM show, I will be taking a guitar with me. And with a tight, small booth that we're going to be in. It's not going to be tiny, but, you know, once you get a lot of people in there. I'm going to be taking a headless guitar. So it's either going to be this one, which is the Kiesel Delos headless Delos, which they call it HD. Excuse me, my Mexican dinner is coming back up slightly. So yeah, this is really small, very lightweight. You know, I won't be knocking people over with a headstock or anything. And I did get some new straps today. So these are called what are they called? The quick adjust something from Levy, made in Canada. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're called the quick adjust. So we got a brown and a black. But I want to see what this, what my sky blue, baby blue looking strap looks like here. All right, so what's cool about this strap is you can quickly adjust it just by pulling on it, pulling down, or you can pull back up to make it longer. See that? So it's really neat. So with a small guitar like this, it doesn't have to be super long. And let me get the strap on here. And I really would like to have my strap locks over this. Let's see if I have enough meat to get that pushed down. Maybe. It's close enough. Close enough. I can kind of flatten this part a little bit if I need to. So I don't want that strap to come off. Yeah, but we'll put this side on. And this side is not as thick, so I'll easily be able to put my little... these are like little rubber washers I got off of Amazon. You can get like 30 of them for $6 or $7. So it's a very cheap option for strap locks, if you will. Yeah, this is a good point, Andrew. Fractal has over 280 amps and or channels. I mean, there's like less amps, but there's once you add all the different channels for those amps. Woo, I'm sorry. Once you add all the channels for those amps, yeah, they definitely start adding up a lot. Hello. This is not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted. There we go. All right, so I can take my thing here and just tighten it right up. And now it's nice and small. If I stand up, I can take it. I can loosen it like so. so it goes down a little bit lower. I can pull it back a little bit more. So it's easy to adjust whether you're standing or you're sitting. Let me pull my mic up here. And let me plug it in. So I'm still on the fence about the pickups. These are Mark's singles, which is his custom wound single coil pickup. And then I'm pretty sure this is a beryllium, even though it's not clearly stated on the spec sheet. I think it's a beryllium. And Thomas, the Dunlop strap locks, I use those for a long time. And then really here lately though, where's my other thing? Like, see, you got these big fat ends right here, which is great because you can either put a regular strap over that or you can put the strap lock in there. I have some extra pieces here if I wanted to add these back on to a strap, but you know, this is a good system, the Dunlop system. But honestly, just a normal strap over a normal strap pin, and then just put a rubber washer over it. I mean, it works like a charm. I mean, I'm not taking the guitar and I'm not throwing them around my neck or, you know, doing crazy stuff. So, so these rubber washers really grip around that strap pin very good. You see, I can just take this, I can just tighten it back up like so. So I can stand in the booth and I can be playing, I can be demonstrating, I can be typing and not have to worry about, like, you know, smacking people in the head with a headstock and all that stuff. So yeah, good times. I could have added Dunlop straps or strap locks to my Kiesel guitars, but it was like an extra $30 charge. I'm like, well, first of all, I can buy them outright for like $16 and then just put them on myself. But honestly, just having I'm going to do an accessory video here pretty soon about all the different accessories I use for guitars and here in the studio. And I'll be sure to include these washers that I got on Amazon. They're like $7 and they're $30. You basically get 15 pairs for $7, which is, you know, if you don't have tons of guitars, then I guess you could use some rubber washers for other things. But yeah, it's just really easy to take on and off if you need to. And yeah, so here's the Mark single on the neck pickup. Let me put it back on. Back on my clean sound here. Now, I like the sound of these pickups. Now, I actually like the sound of each individual pickup. But something about going from the neck pickup to the bridge, the mid-range changes almost too drastic for me. I prefer to either have the bridge pickup to have less mid-range or the neck and middle to have a little bit more mid-range, so they kind of flow and have a better balance between the different changes. It's not too bad. Yeah, it is. It's kind of bad. Let me turn out my Headrush a little bit. I could probably actually turn this down. I felt like I was peaking a little bit. But yeah, it's a good guitar overall, and it's small. And most people are used to a 6-string anyway, so I might just take this over the 7-string, just because I don't really need a 7-string there on the floor. But here's the 2 position. Middle. And 4th position. And then neck. Yeah, I like it. It's very, very cool. Let me add in an overdrive here, and we'll go to this thing, whatever it's called. Let's see what we got. More drive. I feel like we have a Prince of Tone somewhere in here, but I don't think we do. In the core, we have a few different Tube Screamer types. The Sheriff, which is kind of like the Marshall Governor. Sounds really good. We have an Anxiety Overdrive. I kind of do like the Sheriff overall. Check this out. Then, so I need to raise my volume a little bit here. And then if I crank the gain, then maybe turn up the treble, turn down the bass. Thomas Moore, I will not be at the NAMM show with Headrush. I don't even know if they've been to the NAMM show the last few years. Maybe they'll be there. I'm not sure. But I will be with the company I work for is Harrison Audio. And I am the mix bus product specialist for Harrison, and also make tutorial videos, product videos. I answer emails and phone calls. And I do testing software and hardware all day long. So I will be there with Harrison, demonstrating the new console, some other analog gear, and the new Mixbus version 10, which is going to be really neat. Not quite done just yet. We got a few more weeks out, but a lot of cool stuff going to be in version 10. So if you want to come by the booth and check out what's going on with Mixbus, then it's going to be a fun time. I'll be there with my Kiesel guitar, more than likely. And apparently before the day starts, as the vendors start showing up, I'm able to kind of walk around and go meet some other people that I've been wanting to talk to and meet in person for a while. So that's going to be really cool. They get to go mingle with other people like Thomas Blug. Really want to meet him again. I've met him before, and I've actually been on his live stream twice, talking about the Amp 1 and the HX Effects combination, which is a really good combination. But now he has an Amp X that's coming out that he is now starting to use in his live shows. So once he's done testing that and doing his last little tweaks, they're going to be shipped out all over the world. And I hope to get one of those units as well to show off the capabilities of an all analog circuitry that is changed with some kind of neural technology of some sort. So very cool stuff from Thomas Blug. Also going to see the guys at Quilter Labs and also Eastman. Kiesel's not going to be there. They're going to have their own Kiesel Connect thing going on that Saturday, which is really neat. And yeah, just go. Oh, the guys from Reverend Guitars, Ken Haas and Joe Naylor. They're always really cool and really good to me as well. I support them and have been for years. And yeah, I'll probably go by the Fender booth and check out the Toemaster Pro. Talk to meet Max and Jason and all them guys from Fender. And yeah, it's just gonna be really fun. So, snowy Pennsylvania. Well, I'm sure there will be plenty of people walking around with cameras, uploading footage to YouTube, so you can kind of see at a glance what's going on during the day. And see what happens if I adjust this here. Whoa. It's a little dark. Oh, that's weird. I'm adjusting some colors here. In real time. That's good. Okay. This Brio webcam is not amazing. It's not like a regular DSLR camera, but it works pretty good for just live streaming and getting a decent picture. So yeah, it's a good sounding pedal. If you just want to kick in a little bit of dirt, shoot. That's more than enough right there. Now, if I put a tube screamer before that, it's really easy to push it a little bit more. Right? So now we got the tube screamer in front. Very cool stuff. I really like the Reverb ambient setting. It makes it really easy to get just all kinds of pretty much any sound I want for reverb. I can raise the time, make it longer. Then from there, I can adjust the size. Yeah, cool, man. Nice. But you hear that. You got that little 60 cycle hum there. That's the only thing I don't like. I mean, it's not horrible. It's really only getting that kind of sound since I'm sitting here next to the desk with all my electronic stuff are sitting around. I do have some wireless options here, which is neat. I'll definitely take a wireless setup, so that way I don't have to mess around with the cable, and I can just turn it off and on. Take my little charger with me, and pretty much be good to go with that. So. Sorry, my nose is running again. You know it. You know it. Okay, turn that off, turn that off. Let's see here. Turn the treble up, turn the bass down. Yeah, it's a good clean sound. I do have some DiMarzio Area 58s and 61s that I might swap these out with, just to experiment. Then if I don't like it, I can always put these back in. But I think they'll do a better job at keeping the mid-range more consistent between neck and bridge. I still like that drastic sound of changing. And plus, they are humbucking or noise canceling, so you don't get that weird noise. 60 cycle hum and all that. Let me gain stage this here. Turn the volume down. That's pretty good. We'll bring it up to there. Maybe bring the gain down to about 50. Not make it so hot. Because really, once I kick in the tube screamer, it's going to add back in that mid range. It's going to push the volume more, and I can save that as my Doc Mini. Then turn that back off for my rhythm. And then turn on some party verb, maybe. Yeah, it's really neat. You turn on some regular delay. I have a few different wireless units. Still have technically the X5, but it broke on me a few years ago, so I haven't used that since. This is the CFG guitar something. I'm not sure. It's a CO1 thing, and then I have a shoot, what is it? It's a Jorio. It's a Jorio wireless. One of those, Amazon $30, $40 things. They're fine. Really, if I were out touring right now or playing consistently, I would buy one of those. I think it's either the Boss or the... Is it Diodario? Do they make a wireless unit? I don't remember. What are those little boxes that fit on your pedal board that has the built-in tuner? Then you got the wireless pack that goes to your guitar. I'll probably just use one of those. Because I think those are the sturdiest, and it has a built-in tuner, so it's kind of neat to have all that in the same kind of deal. I'm really liking the color of this strap, by the way. It's like this nice teal, sky blue kind of deal. So like it's neat having black, like a black strap if you want it, but having a cool color like this just makes it stick out a little bit more, I think. Oh no! Somebody gave me a thumbs down. Boo! Boo! Guys, I'm just here hanging out. Okay. Maybe it's the maybe you give me a thumbs down because of the nose thing. I mean, sorry. What do you want me to do? I just can't not go live. I mean, I have to go live because it's Tuesday. Whatever. Maybe somebody gave me a thumbs down by mistake. Who knows? I don't care. Whatever. I mean, really, these live streams, I mean, I do them for you, but it's also my way to just sit down for an hour or so every week and just kind of jam, play around, do whatever I want. Play some guitar, mess with some tones. Play some keyboard in front of me if I want to. Yeah, I think it's the Shure. It's probably the Shure wireless. Built like a tank. Yep. I think that's what I would do if I was playing full time live. I would have my little board with a tuner, and yeah, it would be great. I would do that. Yeah, that one person I was talking about earlier that uses the Headrush MX5 for his live gigs. I mean, that's a good sounding amp right there. It's nice and smooth. You could crank it if you want to get some more grit. I just don't know what more you would want out of a clean tone than that. I mean, honestly. Now, I could go in, for real. I could go in, let's just change it to a deluxe gain mod. Turn the gain down on it. Master volume. Maybe turn the gain back up. Yeah, that's a good sound. It's really cool. Not very clean. Let's turn the gain back down. See, this is the thing. Oh, the pedal was still on. Sorry. The dirt pedal was on. Now, that sound right there is fine. But I could probably get the same sound back with my Black Mini. So that has more headroom. I can crank it. Probably probably go back to my output and lower it just a smidge. So I usually like to have my level come in about 3 bars below 0. Or just right at 0. That's perfectly fine. So yeah, so there's an option there to still crank the amp and get some cool sounds. And then use the pedals for my dirt type stuff. From there, to kick in a tube screamer. Man, my nose. More thumbs down, people. Boo on the nose. So let me go back. Go back to my cleanish type sound here. Output, go back to about 0. Yeah, for this amp, I can also bring in a vibrato or a tremolo, as the girls and boys call it. Yeah. Aha. Cool. Yeah, it's just a good option all around. It's a good option. I can also assign that on-off to a switch, the vibrato, so I can just turn it on and off from a switch. Very cool stuff. X5. Needed new batteries and a friend fixed it. Was a hassle, but found the batteries on Amazon. Nice. Something happened with my my actual on-off switch or something. I actually tried to sell it, thinking it was fine. I honestly thought the unit was fine. And the guy who bought it on eBay or wherever it was, said he used it at his first show and like it just kept cutting in and out on him, which I felt really bad. I was truly sorry. I just thought, I mean, it worked for me. So I was not aware that the unit was bad. But yeah, the unit was bad. I also had a Line 6 M9 back in the day. I actually have an HX Effects that I'm going to be selling here pretty soon. Since I have the full-size Helix that I don't plan on getting rid of, I do not need the HX Effects. So I will be offloading that on Facebook Marketplace. I got a few more pedals I could probably sell off just because I never use pedals at all. I'm always using some kind of digital modeler of some sort. And but yeah, I first had the M9. Then I wanted more, so I got the M13. And then I wanted to go all the way down to an M5 to actually add other overdrive and delay stuff pedals on a small board. So I actually toured Europe with a Line 6 M5, a few overdrives, a Boss DD6 delay, a TC Electronic Hall of Fame, a expression pedal that I still have to control. What did I control? I control volume and wah pedal, I think, on the M5. And actually, no, I had a separate wah pedal. So I had an expression pedal on the left. I had a wah pedal on the right that had a built-in automatic on switch. So one of my friends added a switch in the middle that whenever I put my foot on it, it automatically engaged the pedal. So it was really, really cool. I like that a lot. And nowadays I can just do it within the modeler itself. But for that time, back in 2014, really before modeling really hit big, I mean, there was a few things out, but not anything crazy like there is now. yeah, there's just so many options at that time. So honestly, I mean, the M9 is great, but if you could swing HX effects, I would highly recommend it because you get all the legacy effects on the M9, but you also get all the new drives and delays or reverbs and everything else. And every time they come out with a new update, you just keep getting more and more and more stuff for that same one-time cost. So with the M9, they're not updating those at all. So I would definitely suggest upgrading to the HX effects. Plus the switches are way better. They have capacitance switches, so you just touch them. And that's how the unit knows what you want to adjust with the encoder knobs. Very easy to use, and it was definitely worth it. The M series from line 6, the switches weren't that great. They were always sticking on me, and once I saw the HX effects come out, I was like, all right, I'm just going to get this. This is going to satisfy all my line 6 needs as far as effects goes. And it was just it was definitely well worth it for me to get that. So Tube Screamer. Wow, I can't play. Now, that mid-rangey bridge pickup does sound good for overdrive stuff. Now, more than likely, I'll have my Headrush. I'll bring the Headrush MX5 and hook it up there in the booth. So that's what I can play through going into the interface there in the Harrison booth. And I'll have all my sounds all dialed in and ready to go. And I can start recording a song like right there on the spot. It'll be really fun. All right, folks. I want to know your name, where you're from, and who the heck is watching. Because I don't know who's watching other than Thomas and maybe Andrew at this point. Maybe. But yeah, I wanna answer some questions here before I go blow my nose. And I do have my cameras all set up for shooting more video, but I think I'm going to take some more medicine tonight and try to wake up in the morning and knock out a quick video for Wednesday. Hopefully like a little 5-minute video. And then Wednesday night, when I'm feeling a little bit better, hopefully I can sit down and make a few more videos and edit and go ahead and schedule them out so I don't have to be behind all the time. I can just do that all at once, schedule them, and then be good for like the next week and a half or so as far as pre-made videos go. So this week will be Headrush. Next week will be maybe Toemaster Pro. I might want to bump that up a week just to get more views on those kind of videos. And then the last week of the month can be a mixture between Helix and Kemper or any combination of all 5. Who knows? Who knows what I'm going to do? State College, PA. That's cool. Oh, Thomas, this is a very important question here. Would I be better off with a Stomp XL, or do I do like going to the front of the amp with effects? My Pod Go doesn't sound great that way. It doesn't sound great when you plug into the front of an amp. Well, you would want to turn your amp and cab modeling off. I assume you're doing that, right? If you're just using effects, you want to turn the amp and cab modeling off. And when you go to the front end of your amp, it's just like you have a little pedal board with your compressor, overdrive, distortion, modulation, delay, and reverb all going to the front end of your amp. And it should sound great, honestly. I mean, to me, for what I've heard, the Pod Go is no different in sound than the full-size Helix floorboard. And it's no different than the Stomp XL. It's no different than the Stomp. It's no different than the HX Effects. Try not to sneeze. And so you should be fine, but you do want to check to see if you still have your amp and cab simulation on. If you do, then the virtual sounds are mingling with the real amp sounds, and it's not going to sound that great to me. I don't like that sound personally. Even if I'm using an amp model, into the effects return of an amplifier, I usually try to bypass the cab sound, so that way I'm not having a real cab in the amp and then a virtual cab sound meshing together. I just don't like that at all. So that would be my only suggestion for anything. It doesn't have to be a Pod Go. It could be any modeler. If you try to run the full rig with effects and amp and cab into the front end of an amplifier, that's a no-go. I don't do that at all. You have to use the effects return, so that way you're bypassing the preamp of your amplifier, and then you also want to bypass the cab within the modeler, so you're not doubling up on the cab sound or the speaker sound. And then if you are going into the front end of an amp, whether that's solid state or tube, then you want to bypass the amp modeling and the cab modeling and just use it as an effects unit. Pretty much like an XX Effects. But what's cool about the Stomp XL is it's smaller like the Stomp, but you also get all the amplifiers in there as well. So, I don't know. Honestly, if you already have a Pod Go, I probably wouldn't worry about it. Because you already have all those amps in there. I think you have all the amps in there. You are a little bit limited on the signal chain, what order things can come in. But the Kemper is also a little limited on that as well. Like you have your amp and cab in the middle. You have 4 effects in the front and 4 effects after. And, you can't do certain things on the Kemper, but that's fine because you're just limited. Same thing with the Pod Go. So, yep, I believe you did. You had them on and gave up. I give up. So you can do all that with your Pod Go though. Just turn off the amp and cab sim and just use it as an effects unit. You'll be good to go. Because honestly, let's look at this real fast. Let's go to Sweetwater. If you want to support the channel, I do have Amazon and Sweetwater affiliate links down in the description of all my videos. And I'll be sure to update this live stream description when I'm done streaming here. What am I typing in? Pod Go. Let's go to this view, this view, this view. Wow, look at that. I'm a little off. I'm a little off there. Cool. Okay. Whatever. I'm not gonna worry about it. Trying to get centered in the bubble. Alright, so so there's a wireless version and then there's a non-wireless version. So for 374. Wow, that's actually really good. 374. You could add a gig bag for another $80. Wow, that's such a good deal. That's a really good deal. I'll do like the wireless option right there. That's really cool. 474. Wow, this is really good. Now, if you pay for it, and this is a great way to actually save up for another purchase. If you get a Sweetwater credit card, but you buy it outright, just like you paid cash for it. You paid for all up front. You paid the full $474 up front. You get $24 back in bonus bucks that you can then use to purchase something else. So, I tend to buy kind of big purchases. So when I put it on the Sweetwater card, I usually have like 4 years, same as cash, like, 48-month financing. But wow. If I were to start over and wait to save up money before I bought things instead of just putting everything on credit, don't do that, folks. It's a really bad idea. Then you can pay for this all at once, then get $24 back in bonus bucks, which is great. Then, let's say you wanted something else, and you went and bought that. You paid for you saved up like a good boy, and you bought it, and then maybe you got another $50 to $60 in bonus bucks or whatever it is, right? I don't even know. Let's see what a Line 6 Helix looks like. Do you get any bonus bucks with this stuff? Okay, so if you pay $1,700 all at once, or you can get a demo for $1,529. That's pretty good. If you pay $1,700 all at once, without financing, you would get $85 in bonus bucks. So if you got a Pod Go for $24, and you got a Line 6 Helix for another $85, well, that's 130. Wait, it's like $110 right there that you could use for accessories. You could use to get a Line 6 carry bag if you wanted to. More strings, more picks, more whatever you needed, So it's definitely a cool system. You can also get this used on the Gear Exchange. Let's see what we got here. You could get a Helix for $1,200. You would be charged tax on this and probably some shipping. These they basically go for the same price on Facebook Marketplace all day long. So if you have cash is king, or Venmo is king, same as cash, and you can save some money. You can save about $1,500 or $500 or so by buying it used. There's $45 shipping, and you do have a 7-day return policy, which is really cool. And I think there is. Well, it's shipping charge, but I think you are charged. Let's just see what happens if I check out. Actually, yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna experiment here. See, it says shipping is $45. I'm not saying anything about tax yet. I assume you're charged tax. But here's the Axifex group that I kind of look at sometimes. Here's SSL 360, which is the companion software to my SSL 12. It's not mine. It's actually Harrison Audio's, but I'm borrowing it at the time to test it out. That's why I'm live streaming with it now. So it's all working really good. It sounds good to me. I like it. Yes, get it on sale, man. Get it on sale. If you have a Pod Go, I feel like you should be set. You should have everything that you need. You are a little bit limited on the signal flow, which is perfectly fine, but you can do everything you need with that thing. Now, honestly, if I didn't like making videos on so much different stuff, I probably would not have a Kemper and a Fractal and a Helix and a Toemaster Pro and a, what else is there? I think that's it. I'll probably just stick with my Headrush and be done. Because honestly, I mean, these tones are great. I can do everything I need with these sounds here. Yeah, if I can just play. That's another thing about just a good clean sound. Is you're not too caught up in like all the different types of tones or whatever else. You're just worried about playing. All you do is just want to play. And just let the fingers do the talking, you know. Now tomorrow I have one more major purchase that's being delivered, and that is the Fender Toemaster Pro FR10. So it is the 10-inch powered speaker from Fender. I didn't want to get the 12, plus they were already back ordered anyway, so I didn't want to wait. I like the size of the smaller 10-inch cab anyways. And for what I do here in the studio and playing at church and just going out to blues jams, a 10-inch speaker is going to be perfectly fine. And honestly, I don't think that's going to be that much different than a 12. I don't think it's going to be anyway. And I had a Fender Princeton for years that had just a 10-inch speaker. So I think it'll be fine. So excuse me, I'm really sorry. I got my nose is dripping. More thumbs down, please. We got 5 thumbs up though. 5 thumbs up. That's good. Let's read the comment here. I was getting a ton of feedback setting up an acoustic guitar preset today. Why was that was nothing crazy. Studio preamp, studio compressor, reverb, delay, chorus, my acoustic guitar faced the amp. Well, you're facing the amp, so yeah, you usually want to face away from the amplifier so it doesn't feedback. Depending on the compressor settings, it could be too much compression. And you're squashing down, you're bringing up the low points and you're squashing down the high peaks, and you're just, the sound is too squashed, possibly. It might be a reason. But I would not stand facing the amplifier. I would probably want to stand away from it. Because you got the speaker pointing at the sound hole, and then the sound hole pointing at the speaker, and they're making this feedback loop, right? That's what feedback is. So, yay. Yeah. You should be fine. I'll probably just maybe dial back the settings a little bit on the compressor, and you should be good. Guitar face the amp. Now, if you have the amp facing up toward you, maybe it's on the ground right at your feet facing up. I could see why you would get some. I can see why you would get some feedback in that kind of setup. Now, real fast, let me find. It's going. Yeah, you just had it up too loud. That's all it was. You need to turn it down. It's not a PA system. Your amp is not a PA system. So, man, what is going on? Let's quit this and open it back up. Okay. Come on. There we go. I'm going to bring this over here. Now, I did have a song be released here just the other day. It was called Man with the Bag. Let's see if it shows up here. Oh, come on. Stop it. What are you doing? I might have to go to tracks. Come on. All right, I'm going to have to look up the artist. So, Among the Branches, which is a name that me and my friend came up with. Do I really have to do all this? Man with the Bag. All right, there it is. So it's a Christmas tune. It's a cover tune. And I will leave a link to this down below. If you're on Spotify, you can check it out on Spotify. If you're on Apple Music, Amazon, Tidal, which is what this is, Deezer, Napster, whatever you listen to music on. And yeah, it's just a cool Christmas tune. It's a jazzy type thing. Kind of deal. Yeah, Man with a Bag. Hey! So the singer's really good. She got really jazzy with it. I got jazzy with it. I did all the drums and bass and guitar work. The little sleigh bells. Just check the sleigh bells. And wrote a cool little solo for it. So. Alright, using a monitor live for the Pod Go. So I'm assuming that you want some kind of stage volume. So if you want to spend a few $100s, you can get the Headrush 108, the new version that has a Bluetooth built in. Jared from Tone Wars, if you follow the Tone Wars channel, he tried out the Fender FR12, the 12-inch version. I got the 10-inch version coming tomorrow. He said it was the best FR speaker cab he's ever heard. And, that's saying a lot. There's a lot out there. And I know he's used a lot as well. So, so if you want to spend, that's the thing is, the FR12 is about $550. The FR10 is just $50 less. So it's not really that much different. But if you want a good, long-lasting speaker that looks like a real amplifier on stage, but it's actually an FR speaker, it has a full volume, tone stack, and cut knob, just like on a real amplifier. I would honestly just go with that. I would splurge and get the FR12 or the FR10 and use that live with any modeling unit that you have now or in the future. And that will set you up for a very long time with all your FR needs. Flat range for response, FR. And now, if you want to get if you use something a little different, if you want a real amplifier, a Boss Katana is really good. You can use the effects return of a Boss Katana, and that's great. You would want to bypass the cab, though, from your Pod Go. Which I think there is a feature in the Pod Go where it automatically bypasses the cab for you. So look into the manual for that, or look up maybe some videos on bypassing the cab on the Pod Go. Because you don't want to mingle the virtual cab sound with the real cab sound. But a Boss Katana for $350, you can't go wrong with that. They're relatively lightweight, really loud. They get stinking loud. They do have an acoustic preamp setting on the amp itself. So if you ever just want to plug into the amp without going through the Pod Go first, then the Boss Katana is actually a really good option. Randy Upchurch is in the house. My holidays were cool. They were cool, man. So cool. Yeah, we're talking about FR speakers and amplifiers and the 100 watt katana. Let me go back. Yeah, I would get the 100 watt. The 50 watt. Let me go back to Sweetwater here. Did I already close the thing? I did. Let me go back. Let me show you this. So the Boss Katana 50 does not have the effects loop. So therefore it will not be as versatile. And really only like $100 difference. I would not worry about the artist. That thing is way too big. There is a head, which is really neat. The Boss Katana head is technically really cool because it does have a little speaker, as a little 5-inch speaker built in. Yeah, it's a 5-inch internal speaker. So you can use the head just like sitting on your desk or something. You can still hear a good sound coming out of it. But you could also run it live to a PA, or you can set it on top of a separate speaker cab and go that route as well. So it's a cool option if you wanna do that. But honestly, the 100 watt combo is really good. And if you buy it outright for $379, you get $19 in bonus bucks, which is neat. Or you could get a demo model for $341.99. So, like I said before, if you do want to support the channel, be sure to use my affiliate links in the description of any of my videos before you buy anything on Amazon or Sweetwater. And I will get a small, measly commission from that. But everything goes to help support the channel. And it's no extra cost to you. So I do appreciate any support in that way. Also have backing tracks, Headrush courses on my site, Helix presets, Fractal presets, Kemper rigs, or Kemper profiles. I can't have Toemaster Pro rigs for sale on my site because I don't have a way to offload them onto a computer. So that's another issue for another day. Yeah, you're welcome, Thomas. Over the years, I have owned about 30, I think at this point, it's about 36 different amplifiers. Way too many. Don't buy that many. I've also owned so many guitars, so many pedals. Now I have so many different amp maulers. It's nuts. Well, all that experience just goes to just more knowledge, more understanding of how like analog rigs work, how digital rigs work, and how you can use both either separately or together to get all kinds of different sounds for either recording or playing on stage or jamming with your friends in a garage or whatever you're doing. Up here in a bonus room like I am now. So, yeah, I would get the Boss Katana 100 watt. It's a great amp. And, yeah, that's what I would do. I have one right over here that I probably need to do some videos on. Now that kind of sound, let's see what happens if I put in some kind of pitch, not drop tune. I want to do a pitch. I thought I had a detune thing in there. Yeah, it's in the chorus. Check this out. Oh, not that. Not that. I want to do a, let's do a delayed. And we're going to take out the mix of that. Yeah, that's a little John Mayer for you. All right, I honestly gotta stop. My nose is going nuts. And you are all brave enough to just sit there with me and tell me it's okay. I know how it is. I really all just came on to me like today. Like I woke up fine, and then my nose started sniffling and running and itching and whatever else. It was nuts. I'll end with a little party verb here. And yeah, here we go. Some cool little floaty stuff going on there. Yeah, it's really neat. Let me actually crank up my my ambient verb here. You switch the positions. Yeah, it's a nice sound. This was ominous mode. Ominous. Yeah, a Fender Mustang 3. That's fine as well. Using the Boss Katana or the Fender Mustang. It's great. Helix forever. Aaron, this is the guitar I'm going to take to the NAMM show. My Kiesel Headless Delos. With my new teal blue strap. It's going to be great. Let's do one more. Let's do a subtle pure. It's kind of pretty. Now, for those who didn't see earlier, this strap is one of those, you can just pull it like that. So now you can stand up. Or you can go back here, pull it back, and now it's higher. So you just easily pull it up or down to change the length. And I like it. So you still get the nice leather. This is a nice padded leather strap here, but on the back is more of the nylon type stuff, which is, people don't see the back of your head anyway. My headphones came out. There we go. And we'll go back to my, let's go back to Divine Hall. Put the gain down on that. All right, I'm going to end this live stream with a little drum playing. How about that? Little drums. So, you should be able to see me over here. So, let's turn this a little bit. Maybe. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Oh, what do we got? All right, there we go. I got this, let's see. Move my cable out of the way. I got this brown strap for my bass. So let's put this on. Because you have to have a nice comfy strap for a bass. Yeah, I know it looks weird, but I do what I want. I do what I want. Yeah, yeah. I do what I want. I mean, it does kind of look odd. Don't get me wrong. So with this bass here, I can just pull this strap too. Let me take off my headphones for a sec. Yeah. Ooh, that feels comfortable. That feels really nice. Let's just kind of put that there. I can also pull that back a little bit more, like so. All right, cool. Let me go to a, let me save that. Set list, bass. This is the Yamaha bass. It's a 5-string. It sounds good. All right, there you go, guys. Little bass, little drums, little guitar. We do it all around here, honestly. We do it all. So thanks, guys, for watching. I am Dr. McFarland. Goodbye. Be sure to subscribe down below. Use the affiliate links if you're shopping around online. And thanks for all the support. I'll see you in the next video. Keep rocking.